Good evening. Welcome, friends, welcome, foes, welcome those undeclared to the continuation of our little Poltergeist crew, our little fantasy film noir. So, if you've been following along the series, well, I am once again present with these fabulous people. Nirma, say hi.
Hi.
There you go. If she seems distracted to you people, well, just don't worry about it. She knows what she's doing. She's paying attention. Say hello to Lelio.
Hello.
And right then below Mike.
Hello, everybody.
And while I will be your generic GM and storyteller for this this particular storyline, we are without one red goblin named Ren. Don't worry about them. We will be seeing them soon, hopefully. So, welcome to this particular chapter. And before we get into the recap, let's get some music back in, shall we? So, players, characters, stereotypes. What happened last time?
A lot of things.
Oh yes.
Murder most foul, yeah.
Oh yes. We had coffee.
We
With a
had
gym.
coffee. Yeah. One of the
Generic gym.
yeah, the one of the most brilliant parts of this game is the collaborative storytelling, and so spending 15 to 20 minutes on how each different lineage enjoys their coffee and how is just part of the pleasure of this game. Who knows? We might discover a bit more on other aspects later. By the way, as a little bit of a reminder, as we will be touching on certain themes that might be of a more adult nature. If any of my players at any time wish to opt out from the scene, there is always the X card. Mike, as your camera is not on, I will be counting on Lelio to sound the alarm should there be any of that. Normally, I am fairly uncomfortable with direct and very sort of non-subtle approach for some of these themes, so we'll keep it light anyways. I want to refuse a little bit of fun, but let's not go too far, right? Good. As we head out before we start the story, so a little bit of the recap. Last we left off, our investigators had gone into the building where the victim had been staying with a cousin, a dwarf by the name of Dury Openvault. And as you had entered by multiple means, right? I believe Lelio actually had used their skill in rooftop shenanigans.
Running.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had my little Assassin's Creed moment there.
Yeah. Not only did you find a half-orc bound and gagged, you bumped into what we are in this particular world are gonna call a dragon-touched, so a serpent type person, and investigating the first apartment, you had found a series of uncut gems and dragon steel ore, but also mention of a particularly rare substance called dragon marrow, which in this world where magic is disappearing with the disappearance and of dragons, basically. It is a very rare and fought over resource, especially here in the West. In the East, they still have a living dragon as emperor, so but might not be too kind on the idea of having marrow drawn. So, in this hidden compartment, you had also found scrolls with coded messages, most likely of a military nature, which mentioned the dragon marrow. And you had also found what could have been in the dustbin, a octagonal box, missing, of course, but you found the trace of it in the compartment. In the second apartment, that's where you found the half orc, which by the name of Luke Stonecreek, and is an associate of yours, Mike, back from the day where he was informant for the police as part of the Half-Tooth gang. Bit as Lelio, you were walking around the apartment trying to find clues as to who this mysterious assailant might have been, or this, which you saw, I believe one of you saw them running around.
Norma.
Yeah,
Norma.
Norma.
Norma found the clue, but I
Yeah.
saw him running out.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, yeah, so Luke Strone Creek is part of the Half-Tooth gang,
Yes.
which is to us interesting because Bryn is also part of the Half-Tooth gang.
Yeah. Though, yeah, Bryn, you've met two members of the Half-Tooth gang, neither of which is actually a true believer, in a sense. But we'll explore on that as we get to it. The mark of the gang being a broken tusk capped with gold. But that is to be seen. That we'll get into that again a little bit later. Right. So, as always, the aspects for this scene currently, film noir, fantasy, of course, but this would also be dilapidated apartments. Okay. If you want to discover any additional scenes, additional aspects, or come up with them, well, we'll just work that on the fly. Okay. As for ambience, as you're walking along, I think Nirma, you've got the matchbook, correct? Or is it Lelio?
No, it was Norma who found it.
Okay. So Nirma, the small matchbook with the symbol of the red lotus upon it. Clearly forgotten, or maybe pushed off one of the tables, sort of slipped under the furniture. Lelio, you recognize it immediately. I mean, you've, from what I understand, are intimate with the place.
Yes. And as I see Norma pick it up, I immediately notice this, and I take it from her and say, this is very interesting. I know that place. And I turn to Luke and I ask him, is this yours?
Luke is still sort of getting over the fact that he's been tied down for almost 2 days, and sort of stretches out. You can see that he's about your height, and it's a lot of dry muscle, right? It's a couple of scars on his chest, and I think he's looking for his clothing. Looking around, I think when he comes out into the living room, he's as you call him in, he's just buckling his pants on. He's still shirtless, or maybe sort of, he's got it slung over his shoulder. And he goes, well, not particularly mine, but that's where I met her.
Her?
Yeah. I'm dragon touched? I've been telling you. The one who tied me up?
She brought you back here after us.
No. You're in my place here.
Yeah, okay.
Okay,
but how?
Look.
You brought her back here.
She work there? Did you just meet her there?
Look, Mike, are these people, they're confident?
They're fine.
They're fine?
They're fine, yes.
Okay, because...
I mean, how bad can it be for you? Or can it get any worse?
Okay. I did not tell you this, okay? Right? Especially since I don't want to be known to have screwed up this bad. I've been sitting in this squat house for about 2-3 weeks now, right? I've been watching this dwarf on the other side of the hallway. I'm not supposed to bring in...
What dwarf?
Guy by the name of Openvolt.
How do you know him?
I never met the guy. I just... The gang's been interested in... The gang's been interested in him. He's... Nothing's on the up and up with him. Something's a bit weird. I was just told to be put there and watch him. And, the Coats wanted in as well, right? So I've been sort of double reporting.
What did they want him for?
They didn't really tell me. I just had to watch him and that other one that joined in.
Hey, that other one. Did anything happen while he was there? Did you notice anything weird?
It's secretive, but no. I mean, no. Look, I don't know what I was supposed to be looking for. Right? I just know that person was someone of interest. And then that other dwarf sort of walked in, and all of a sudden the pressure was much more on me. I had to do almost, by hour, how'd you say, twice a day. I had to report in twice a day, basically, on their acts. They even had me follow. I'm not somebody who can follow people. Pretty sure at some point they made me. But
and why is the half-tooth gang so interested in those people?
I don't know. Look, I'm barely in the gang. I've been in the gang for 4 years. I'm barely in of any status there.
Okay, just to be clear, there was nothing of interest that actually happened, like did somebody come by or something? Was there some shenanigans going on that were clearly illegal? Anything like that?
Look, there's a lot of things that happen around here, right? You've got a drug dealer 2 doors down. You've got a most likely a pimp 3 story up. look, I just was supposed to watch the door, make sure he came in, make sure he came out, who came in with him, and there wasn't any visitors, right? Just that other one, that sort of I heard him call him cousin. I don't know enough about. They didn't look cousins.
What did he look like?
He gives you a description which is, I mean, fairly similar to, for somebody, I think, he does give you a fairly good description of the weave that would recognize him, that would recognize it as Copper Cloak. Yeah, called him cousin, called him Orin. But look, if anything happened in the last 2 days, I didn't see it.
Yeah, of course you didn't.
All I know is I was asked to follow them. I think I got made. There was a moment where I was in the Dragon Touch district and Dragon Town, and I got distracted. Woman came on to me, we had a few drinks. I considered that, I'd been made, so I needed to blend in the crowd. And we came back here. And that's pretty much the last time I was standing upright. Until you came in the door.
So what did she do while you were tied up?
I mean,
we spent a lot of time together here.
Not in this room.
So she tied you up here and left.
I mean, she could have offed me. For all intents and purposes, she wanted to keep me. I mean, it was just, yeah. He
Is
goes.
your name?
I don't. It was some flower name, I think. Forget. Wasn't really too interested in her name for professional kind of. Look, it's. All I know. Look, she had. I know she wore a wig. She took it off afterwards, and she had this pattern of scales on the jawline, and just underneath her left eye, not the right. I asked her about that. Didn't take it too well. Well, she worked at the Lotus.
Yeah. So I guess that will be our next stop.
Yeah. Look.
How was you were you were caught 2 days ago? 4 days ago, did Yuri have any kind of atypical, strange, unusual? Did he behave differently than usual?
4 days ago?
The last time you saw him, basically.
Yeah. Seemed a bit more urgent, Bit more. A bit more of a looking over his shoulder, right? Pretty sure that's when I was made.
Is he talking about Duri or Orin?
Duri.
Because
Orin died.
Lilio, died 4 days ago, so
Yeah.
that's why I asked about Yuri,
Yeah.
but I wanted to make sure.
Remember, folks, if you spot a a story loop, put it in the comments.
So, when was the last time you saw the other one? Was there anything strange going on there? Do you
About a week.
remember?
I mean, about maybe a week ago. Look, I don't know. I'm pretty sure he was. Let's move into something a bit. No, that's not the right one. Yeah, let's keep it this. Yeah, maybe week ago, maybe less. I mean, they were. Whenever I would sort of maybe follow what. They look close, conspiratorial, if that's the word. I mean.
And you were not interested in that shit. I mean, you were supposed to give information to the gang, weren't you?
I was supposed to watch
that,
the. I was
stroke you.
was supposed to watch the apartment.
For what?
People going in, people going out. I was basically a concierge.
Did you ever see anyone, any of these people, including your inhabitant of the last? No, let me finish the question, please. Did you see any of them with some sort of small box? Was it octagonal, hexagonal? I don't remember. But did you
Octagonal.
See anything like octagonal? Did you see anything like that?
No. I mean, about a couple of days ago, gang asked me to sort of break in. I'm good with locks, so they would not have noticed. But no, didn't see anything like that.
And they didn't tell you what you were looking for when you broke in?
Like I said, they don't tell me much.
This guy doesn't know anything. Let's go to find that chick.
Hey. Okay. Look. I appreciate the save. Right? Not the harassment.
Yeah,
So-
don't worry.
She's only telling the truth.
Yeah! In a sense, but there's a way of saying things, right?
He just
I
needs
do-
a cup.
I'm saying
I'm sure
that I
so
don't.
do you.
I'm saying I don't know anything, and you keep asking.
Oh, well, sometimes we remember a bit when we think about things.
Yeah. Look, just if you guys are planning on going to the Lotus, you might want to be careful. Rumor is that there's been a change in management.
Oh. Indeed.
Yeah. So just keep safe.
Thanks for the header. Okay. So Lelio has been playing with the matchbook all the time, and he's turning to the others, and yeah.
So look, I like I said, I appreciate the save, but you clearly know more than I do in this situation. Don't necessarily want to know everything, but I gotta tell them something.
Oh, I'm sure they already know everything there is to know.
At this point, yeah.
Yeah. Cause damn, which one is it? Owen died a few
Oren,
days
yeah.
ago.
Oren
Yeah.
died.
Or
Or at least someone who was supposed to be Owen. We don't really know. That's what we're trying to figure out.
wait. So the cousin, he died.
Yeah. But
Wait.
probably not him.
Probably not him. Probably
Probably
someone
a doppelganger.
they passed off as him.
Yeah.
Oh. You can see sort of he blanches a bit. It's like Mike, your friend here, he's not talking about actual doppelgangers, are you? He's talking about the sort of imposters. Doppelgangers in this universe are doppelgangers in this universe are boogeymen.
A very real
Right.
threat.
No, they are creatures of legend and nightmare. Right? The idea of it's the sleep paralysis demon, it's the vampire, it's the you wake up to find yourself looking into your own face and you know that's the last thing that you'll see. Right? It's that kind of spectral boogeyman. And so when you're saying, oh, there's doppelgangers involved.
Now I imagine Lelio striking a match and ominously saying doppelganger.
Yeah,
No,
I
but
don't know if
that-
this kid is spooked by a lot, but doppelganger, yeah, that spooked him.
No, he was an imposter.
Well, they didn't
Guy
say
Who's
that.
dead.
Hey, no, I mean,
Jeez, are
my
you scared of
grandfather
ghosts
saw
now?
one of those. What? Sorry?
Are you scared of ghosts now?
They're not ghosts. They're real. My grandfather killed one of them.
Did they
Or-
kill or did they die from seeing one of them?
Here's the thing, we don't know. There's stories in the family of seeing him standing above his own corpse. We don't know.
Okay, as fascinating as this is, this doesn't really help us. But just the fact that there was an imposter who died in Owen's place, in a boxing match. You wouldn't have happened to see anyone else who was like looked a lot like the cousin enough to be passed off as him.
Oren had, I mean, with the right hair color, it's maybe.
He had a
Look, Oren had contacts in the unkept, right? Maybe.
Who are the unkept, please?
The unkept or the uncouth are the dwarves who
Yes.
the outcasts, the ones who the freebeards.
Yep.
Nirma would know something about that.
Open hair, don't care. Yeah.
when he says unkept, Norma probably has a dwarvish insult, like skitty or something, that she
Yeah,
interjects.
scum. Yeah. Yeah, maybe that's how it happened. Look, I'm not saying that all dwarves look alike, but behind those, it's the beard, man.
Yeah. I know what you mean. No offense.
Norma's looking all at you like savages, all of you.
So, what's your next move?
Right.
Check out that
I
chick.
think we should check out who the new manager is at the Lotus. I'm very interested in that.
Right.
What's your story with the Lotus?
Oh, that's
That can be a walk and talk conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah, that can be a long. Yeah, I will tell you on the way.
Okay. Yeah, we are. By the way, we are getting a bit of reverb from Mike. We're getting a bit of echo. No worries.
Nadine, can you turn off your microphone if you don't? Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Push to talk is useful in a lot of these cases. Okay.
Yeah, okay, so let's leave this poor guy alone to clean himself up.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't take too much time, right? Finishes. During this conversation, he's been finishing to dress up. Yeah.
Just have a question. He has been expected to give twice daily reports. By daily reports. No one in his hierarchy has heard anything from him in 2 days, and no one bothered to come and see what's happening.
Yep.
Not even to give him a scolding.
Yep.
That seems to be pretty popular, right?
No one from either the
The police.
or
Nor the fact, guys. I mean, your informant goes silent for 2 days when you're expecting daily reports, and you just go, huh?
No.
Don't care?
Maybe their attention was pulled elsewhere. Maybe because the person he was supposed to be surveilling was lying on a morgue table.
Yeah. Well, Jury is not dead.
Well, or is he? I mean, we don't actually know if that is maybe who was lying there.
No.
No, because Jury has been seen after Ori's death.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So either Jury has been killed in the last 2 days.
I think we will maybe be smarter after we went to the Lotus, because whatever happened to him, probably some beautiful dragon-touched lady with a flowery name was involved.
Mm-hmm.
And I think with that we are leaving the apartment and going back out into the fucking rain.
Okay.
Unless there's anything else anyone wants to add here.
He's pretty much going to just sort of grab a couple of things, grab a bottle of water as he steps out, and then just disappear into the night.
Goodbye.
So, where to?
So, off to the Lotus, right?
You have sort of, at some point, I think, Ren has been sort of keeping silent in the background. And just at some point said, I'll join. I need to check on something. Quick. I'll be back. Lotus, right? Know where to find you. If not, Poltergeist. Right. I'm off. And then sort of darts into the night. So, do you go directly to the Lotus, or is there another stop that you want to go by? Knowing that it's been about, I mean, since the moment you drank those shots, it's most likely been about, 6 hours? Now, granted, for ambiance, we're playing at night, and maybe that's because that's your shift. So So you're still. I would say you're still in a good shape, right?
Yeah, but actually, and Lelio suggests this at the point. I know a good food stand on the way. Maybe food stand on the way. Maybe we can grab a snack there.
Okay. Yeah. And I think, there's a street vendor not too far from here. And I think that's a good place, as for to keep in line with the tropes here. I think that's a good place. As you're ordering the food, the grill is sort of sizzling either whatever kind of meat or root vegetable that you might be wanting, and maybe Nirma's question comes up as to what's your relationship with the Lotus, Lelio?
Yes, that one. So, actually my first job that I did for the Poltergeist was for the Lotus. There was a bit of blackmail going on from another establishment, and yeah, I went undercover there and found a mole that was basically getting them information to the competition that they could use to hurt the Lotus, and yeah, I helped them, and
Could that be that
they're
new
good people.
establishment?
I've been wondering if maybe they made a new move, because I would not have expected that, but
Sorry, I thought I
Don't
was
worry.
muted.
don't worry. Yeah, I was wondering if maybe they did make a move and tried again. Back then they
Yeah.
tried it with some tax issues that they were trying to raise, and we managed to make that disappear, but maybe they found another way in.
Yeah, so any goodwill you bought and that would have made it easy to get in and have information from the old management, you won't have that now.
Yeah, that's what I've been thinking too. And I'm wondering how much of the staff is left, and I've been on good terms with them, but there might be a different atmosphere there now.
Yeah, so we'll have to tread very, very carefully.
Yeah. Actually, if the new management is someone from the other place, then I will have to tread very carefully indeed, because they know my face.
Yeah, right.
So to give a bit of context, as Lelio sent this to me, was it yesterday? to this morning?
This morning, it came to me in a vision.
Yeah. A reminder to those who are watching: all of this is pure improv, right? We're storytelling with one or the other. We're barely playing a game mechanically here, right? But to sort of complete Lelio's story, the owner of the Lotus happened to be one of these, I guess, sort of lucky people, also half elven, but had this building, this brothel, around which the whole of the Dragon Quarter sort of built itself. And so it was a bit of a the not last man standing, but it was that little piece of real estate that had not been completely bought in by the the new immigration, right? From the and so there had been a bit of, it was blackmail, but it was also
Buy-in.
sort of buy-in and sort of not necessarily racket. They didn't do that. There was nothing illegal. It was just in making sure that they got him involved in something that ended up being off the books and dangerous for him. Right. So it's sort of an entrapment kind of thing. And he realized it way too late. But yeah, it was one of these places that did do business with the elven kind. But when the whole area sort of repopulated with the dragon touched, he changed the name from whatever it was before to the Red Lotus to sort of, again, to become the atmosphere, right? He opened people with wide arms, and that might have cost him. But it had a reputation. It had a clientele. And from what you would have known is the clientele was loyal to the staff, right? And so if there was new management, they would have most likely kept the staff.
It was called the Enchanting Glade and became the Red Lotus.
I like it. Yeah. Okay. I would have said greener boughs. The greener boughs. Yeah, the elves have a thing with you know. I was about to say being on top, but that might come in later.
No, but we have a half elf that likes to climb roofs, so yeah, there is a thing with being on top.
Yeah.
Oh,
They're cats, basically.
Yeah,
I think that's more Lilio's thing.
No,
Hey,
the way that
who built the high rise and the towering buildings
Yeah.
here? It was the
Yeah.
elves, so
Yeah,
they're
that's true.
cats. I'm sorry, elves are cats.
Yep.
They're tree creatures, definitely.
Yep. Good with heights.
Yeah. So the food goes down as it usually does in this area, as in heavy, sticky, and immediately sweat-inducing, right? But it's enough to sort of settle your stomachs for what's going to come forward. And you head towards the Dragon Quarter.
Yeah. And I keep leading the way because I obviously know the way, but I'm also clearly worried about what might be coming. So, trying not to show it too much.
So, about this time, yeah, you heard the shift bell while you were at the. So you're maybe about 2-3 hours later. So you're coming about mid shift, right? Mid. I said what? Star shift.
Yeah, starships.
Yeah.
As you get towards the gates of this, what is again traditional dwarven houses, but arranged in different manners. There's the very sort of sober type of houses that the dwarves had built here previously in the old town has been painted over in lavish colors. There's drapes sort of covering the almost turning in this to a bazaar, right? As you're walking through the street in this quarter, you can barely see the sky because there are drapes all over and ribbons and paper lanterns. It's gaudy in a sense, and it's all in deep reds and golds, which means that the lightest, sometimes even threads of gold, which means that the slightest light reflects and shimmers across the street, almost like scales, and sometimes.
Norma is king.
Yeah, there's something about it's high enough that you don't feel oppressed, but so I'm not going to start telling you can't go into Dragontown, but there is that definite where you're going. Yeah, a lot of rain catchers, if I could, kind of.
It's more about what they've done to my part of town, to the architecture that I know in our traditional architecture.
Oh, you should see Goblin
yeah.
Town. That is a whole different thing.
I know about Goblin Town.
Mike, is it your first time here?
Yes, and I hate it.
Any reason why?
Good job.
You really don't know what the issue is. It's perfectly beautiful.
It's... I don't know. It doesn't quite feel right. It's like in a movie, just a setting. It's not real. Not decent.
Lacks the gravitas. Too much harmonica and not enough bass.
Yes.
Oh, there you go. The mood here is very much busy, despite the Night on the Dock music, the piano room. There's people moving around. There's you can hear music coming from different buildings, from different sources. There's Mike, maybe you feel this, and this is why you feel it feels fake. Is that it is maybe theater, as in everybody's sort of hawking for their wares on the side of the street. This is Dragontown, but this is also the red light district. Well, it used to be the red light district before that was the only place where the Dragon Touch could come in and settle. Everything was sort of full. And they've only been here sort of recently, after the war ended. At first, most likely the reason why they were sort of parked in that area. But they've been eating away at the real estate and settling quite well. And as you're going by, you can see the multiplicity of the marks, right? Some, as you're walking by, will only have maybe their eyes of a different color, or as they're talking, you can see a serpent's tongue sort of taste the air about them. Some of them would be lacking ears and would be completely sort of clean shaven and bald. Others have moved to such a state where they've lost their legs, and it's now sort of this long serpent tail that carry them over. These, as they walk, or at least move about, you can see are usually given wider berth. As the more extravagant the transformation, the more respect, or the higher in hierarchy they would be, the higher in society they would be.
That was going to be my question. Are they given a wider berth in fear or in respect?
Yes.
Okay.
And I think Mike, I mean, you were in the war, right?
Yeah.
I was in the war.
Then Nirma as well, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, one underground and the other one above it.
Yep.
The war was with the Empire, right? And their expansionism. Or at least that's what that's what you were told. What you would know of the Dragon Touch is that you don't become Dragonborn. You're born Dragon Touched, right? But the closer you are to the Emperor's form, the more of a representative of the Emperor you are. That is the general agreement in society. Yeah, that's a societal. And so you can very well have, by chance, two very lowborn giving birth to somebody who will become much, much higher. And below those scales and those marks, you can see what would have been at some point. You can see different lineages of orc, dwarf, or human. Though the dwarves here would have been completely shaven. So you can guess the shape and the silhouette, but you want to show the scales, you want to show the markings, and so the beard is something that hides that away, and so cut off. The general idea is people shave closely, male and female, and in between. Do you head directly to the Lotus? Do you wander a bit around? How's that going?
I don't think Norma has been a frequent has frequently been in the district, so she would follow Lilio's lead, but she would also a bit curiously but discreetly look around.
Okay. Well, let's get a couple of rolls in here, shall we? Let's see here. So how's about you make your way through the streets? Are you careful? Are you forceful, sneaky? What's your approach? I think Lelio, you're the one leading the charge, right? So why don't you determine one of your approach and the others will follow in that?
I'm very much just sort of to weave my way through the crowd. So I think that would be quick would be my approach.
Quick?
Because also I'm sort of in a hurry to get there. Quick.
Okay. Right, yeah, so it's not about you're hoping that there's enough of a crowd to sort of hide your way through anyways. So.
Yeah, but also I am here fairly often, so
Okay, fair.
So yeah, I don't really
It's
there's no sense in hiding away because well, I'm a common sight in the streets. Like, I'm not here every day, but at least once a week probably.
Okay.
With someone. So, yeah.
I can see it being the quick of I know where I go and I have a destination in mind, and that makes me invisible because I have a I have a goal.
Man on a mission. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't loiter around and therefore don't pay attention to me because I'm just getting through here.
Yeah, I'm just passing through and there's nothing interesting about me right now because yeah.
Remember, folks, have a look at your aspects and have a at the aspects of the others. There might be some shenanigans to play. By the way, all of you, if on your character sheet, you have an other amount than 3 to your refresh, please put it to 3 as you are refreshed. So your current should be 3. Sorry.
Done.
Sorry. At least 3. So if you have more, you keep those. But I don't think we played a lot with the fate tokens last time.
Well, I mean, I used 2 of mine, so.
Well, there you go. Well, you're back up.
I used 1. Yeah.
Hmm.
So yeah, I can see that quick might not be the preferred approach for the other 2, but hey, not my problem. They can keep up, or at least they can try.
Yeah. Well, let's roll for that. So, can
Alright.
everybody make me a quick roll? Okay. That's not too good. Right. Okay. So for Mike,
Oh no.
a 1. Lelio, that's a 0. And Nirma, that's a 2. So actually, my question is, do you have any aspects that you want to use to boost that number, or maybe re-roll?
Or did you get distracted because you happened to come upon a worker of the Red Lotus in the street, and so you stopped because you were talking to them?
Nice.
Oh, maybe that is something one might
Or
spend.
is Nirma basically offering a fate point to sort
Yeah.
of you wanna invoke the I know a guy?
I could invoke I mean, it's the district you know, or it might not be a worker of the Red Lotus, but if it's somewhere you're regularly, you might just have stopped at a vendor where you stop regularly, and they're actually a friend or a friend. They're someone you know and who can offer you information.
Okay.
I'll use a fate point for that.
Right. So slide
you.
over a fate point.
Wait a minute. Yeah.
Well, I mean slide. You put one down. You put one up.
Well, we're on the board, so.
Yeah, you're on the conspiracy board.
Yeah.
But like I said, on your character sheet, just put one down,
It's on.
one up. Okay.
One down. Yeah.
Do we both do that or just Norma?
No, Nirma.
You get 1 point.
Yeah, so yours goes from 3 to 4. She offers you a fate token
I see.
so that you follow her prompt. And her prompt is you stop because you know somebody does a stall there.
Yeah. Okay. So that's the current that I'm putting up.
Yes, the current goes up to 4.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Let's see. Do I have a Yeah, so Nirma, because you are responsible for this. You see indeed Lilio sort of weaving their way through the crowd and then sort of stop and move towards the side. There's a stall that sells sort of these paper masks. What does the person behind the stall look like? What's their lineage? What would be their
They're yeah, they're probably a half elf, but with a very, very in their neck, one very, very subtle patch of scales. So they bonded with Lilio. Well, that's going into their But
okay, so half elf,
half elf
half elven but touched.
But yeah, with
Okay.
a very subtle touch.
Yeah.
Barely enough to make them recognized in their society.
Okay. Go on, as you approach, the thing is, here's the thing, the scales, Lily, you would know these are actually sort of tattooed on, but to hide a scar, as in a knife scar. that went maybe a bit too deep, and basically as the tattoos are sort of a punishment, in a sense, and so as you come up to the stall, Lelio, good to see you tonight. I don't know how well this voice works over the microphone, so please tell me if you hear me.
We can hear you fine.
Okay, good.
I'm just wondering about this person's name, because do they translate their names?
He would be he'd be Seely.
Name.
Yeah, his name is Seely.
Okay, yep, okay, yep. Seely, it's been a while. How's business going?
It's been going fairly good. Bit of a celebration from what I'm hearing planned. A bit of important people coming in the next couple of days. And so...
Celebration?
Envoy from the Empires coming in. And so the whole thing is up in arms as to who could have the most patriotic of stalls. Hey, look, I mean... And you can see that on the stall, there are all of these serpent or lizard or dragon sort of paper masks. Made them myself, with a little bit of help.
Always had a good hand for those.
Yeah, well, don't have much choice, do I?
Well, who does?
But yeah, it's been a while since you've passed by this place. Going to the Lotus?
Well, yeah, actually, I was wondering, I've heard that there's a new management.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's not a bad business, in a sense. It was a good deal, from what I heard. So Jaya, the owner.
The new owner or the old owner?
The old owner.
The old owner.
Didn't catch the name of the new, but from what I heard, it's just, he's still working there. He just, not the boss anymore. Let him keep the operation running, and they trust him with that. It's just investors.
I see. That's good to know. And you wouldn't know who these investors are?
Look, I might have the scales, but people know they're painted on. Hush hush and all that, but I've heard a few things. Newcomer. Just sort of came in and rolled everything over. Imperial-like. Girls are still the same anyways. And the boys too.
Good to know that no one's lost their job over this.
They know a good thing when it's coming. Besides, let's face it, it allows a lot of the other dragon-touched places to keep to their own, right?
Well, one has to keep the customers one has.
Mm-hmm.
It wouldn't be good for anyone's business.
I mean, from what Jay was saying, looking to expanding, buying the next two apparently the 2 buildings next to his are already bought off and are to be transformed as expansions for his place. So, like I said, good deal.
Big plans, at least. Well, now at least I know that what I'm getting into. Well, I'm wishing you good luck with your sales.
You want to buy a mask?
Maybe later. I'm a bit in a hurry now. But when is the celebration going on? I might need one then.
Well, if you're planning on being in the area in the next 2 days, you're gonna be wanting one of these, definitely.
Then I will be back.
Yeah, sure you will.
Have a wonderful evening.
Yeah, as always. Every night's a gift. Every shift's the shit. Shift.
Yeah, I turn around to the others and on the way, the remaining way to the Lotus, I catch them up on the situation, as I've been informed right now, as it is. So I'm a bit less I don't seem as scared of the
Stressed
situation anymore.
or uncomfortable.
Yeah, right. Because I know who I'm dealing with, and that I probably won't get shot the moment I step in.
We've been going on for a little bit of an hour. We've got a shorter session today. 1 block right here. Do you guys want to take a short 5-minute break so that we can rehydrate, get something to drink, and I can get my voice out of this one?
Oh yes, do that.
Okay. Well.
Okay.
See
you in a moment.
Be right back. And we're back. Wait. There we go. That's shifted. No, just wrong screen. The names were not in the right position. Welcome back. So, hope that as us, you've fixed yourself a good drink, got yourself cozy in a corner, and let our voices continue the story. So, as you continue moving by from your friend's stall to what is now been confirmed as a sort of pre-festival rush, and so, which would explain the extra gaudiness that is in the streets. has these imperial symbols and dragon-themed decorations are set up across the quarter. You don't have to move very far in itself to come up to the Red Lotus. The Red Lotus, contrary to a lot of the buildings here, was never really a dwarven household, or at least it's a bit more slender. It's old enough to have been built with the purpose of being what it is today, which is basically a bordello. And so the decorations are not painted on as for most newer buildings here, but carved into it. And you can see floral and sort of floral patterns. It's very Art Nouveau, if you can see it that way. So this building was elven at its creation. Probably older than the actual hostile takeover that the elves did after the war. Or during? I forget my own notes. Doesn't matter. Moving on. A banner in the shape of a lotus painted red announces the establishment. And for all intents and purposes, there's not much that's changed from the last time you've been here. How long has it been since you've visited this place, Lelio?
I think maybe 2 weeks or something. I am here fairly regular, not as a customer, just to clarify that, but because they also rent rooms to people who don't have the sort of privacy at home. With whoever they bring along.
I mean, you're not a customer when you're the friend of the staff, right?
Too, but no, I bring my own company usually.
Good to know. So there's, as you walk in through the door, there's a little sort of area, the coat check, right, where you just sort of step in. There's a pair of halflings who you know well, who are basically, whenever you step in, the first thing they do is look to the second person to enter. And so I want to know,
which is probably normal this time.
Okay. Yeah, there's a sort of look to each other going, Oh, Lelio. It's been a while. Should we prepare the usual?
Actually, not what I'm here for today. I'm afraid it's for business, not for pleasure.
Oh, you'll be wanting to see the manager then, The last time they referenced him, it was, you'll want to see the owner.
Yeah, and I also, it feels weird too. It's written on my face. It's strange. And I sort of exchanged a look with them that's like, what's going on with this whole thing and this whole situation? And I say, yeah, I would like to see Jailer.
Well, give us your coats and we'll send out to see if he's free. Feel free to wait in the lounge. And sort of beckons you a bit closer. Just be wary. They're listening. So coats, yes. And sort of weapons.
Yeah.
Any weapons?
Mike almost hits the person who's trying to take anything from him.
No, they don't ask. They don't take.
Mike.
They sort of ask about.
Okay, no. Not give me anything.
Now here's the thing, Mike. So you are armed, right?
Yes.
Definitely. I would actually have you. Let's see about this. Make me a either careful or sneaky, maybe, to sort of, and I mean, you do not want to be separated from your weapon. So is it well hidden, or are you sort of glaring at the halfling to make it better? What's the approach here for you to enter armed?
Well, since Mike has been drinking from a flask since they arrived in this area, I think he's rather not sneaky anymore. So it's probably that he's trying to, or that he would try to scare that person off.
Let's see. Well, I mean, let's see. Don't you tell me what to... Okay. You know what? I would most likely say you can, if this is a hidden weapon, it could be definitely a careful or a clever, because you've used that to sort of conceal that on your person. But I will definitely be using a fate point here, if you decide to accept it.
Yeah.
Don't you tell me what to do.
Yes, definitely.
Okay, so you can raise your current by 1. So you should have 4. I've updated your sheet.
Yes. Okay.
And oh wait, you're the I know a guy. I apologize to Lilia.
No problem.
Lelios
Since it's-
knows lots of guys as well.
Yes, exactly. It's this area, so he knows everybody.
What's that? Lilios. Oh yeah, I'm most likely would have been the I'm a lover, not a fighter.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Which completely changes the relationship between you and that stall owner.
Well,
Maybe not a
also
lover.
I don't do it, but I do talk.
A brother, not a water. Yeah, maybe. Okay, fair enough.
While Mike is probably protesting the giving his coat off, Norma has just shrugged her bomber aviator style jacket that she's wearing, gotten her dagger out of her boot, put it on top, and say, "But the pouch stays with me. It's her tinkering pouch."
Oh, of course. And basically, I think that the both halflings have to sort of pick up the bomber jacket. I mean, your bomber jacket's full of stuff, right? There's pockets everywhere. There's different. So it's most likely when it drops, I can hear the sound of chainmail. You know, it's a shlink. Like
Oh, I
And
apologize. It might be a bit heavy.
Get a bucket. Come on. And then it's sort of slunk. You hear the fall. I mean, I think that the two sort of almost have to sort of climb up onto the to the table, to the cashier or whatever it's called. I can't find my words tonight. And sort of dump it back. Mike, let's see. What are you going to be rolling to try and keep that weapon on you?
That'll be... Well...
For example, if you wanted to roll clever, one thing would be, I give up one weapon to hide the fact that I've got another 3.
That would be a compromise.
Okay.
That's a decoy weapon.
Yeah, the decoy weapon.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, but you will be getting a -2 because the don't tell me what to do.
Yeah, okay. Clever it is. Yeah.
Okay, that's a 2. Let's see how they do. With a, I'm gonna go for careful. I'm gonna give them a... Right, that's a 0 for them, so...
Very good.
Yeah, so
I'm
you
doing my
are
shit.
considered... You still have... I'll say you still have your backup weapon, right?
That's good, yeah.
Okay.
My backup weapon would be the flask, wouldn't it?
I think you have something in your boot.
Is it what you have a flask gun?
No, just a flask with whiskey,
Look,
which is pretty solid.
okay.
No, just joking. and a knife in my boot, obviously.
Of course, yes. Nicknamed the snake because you've got a snake in your boot. No, that's sorry,
No.
Toy Story reference. Doesn't matter.
Okay.
As you pass the check, you can see one of the halflings sort of scampers off. You would know, Lelio, they have this sort of most of the walls here sort of hollow, so that halflings who are the main sort of workforce for the menial task can just sort of run up and down without bothering the guests. And occasionally, there might be a peephole or two, but you're pretty sure that in the room that they give you, those have been filled up. Pretty sure.
I do a check usually.
Yeah. As you step into the main chamber, it's almost through. It's not a beaded curtain, but it's sort of long strips of silk. And as you pass through, there is a heavy scent that hits all of you. Lelia, you've known this, but I think Mike, you would Nirma, you recognize this as well. But I guess all of you in a sense would have a strange relationship with this smell. It's a sickly sweet smell, almost sticky in its way of atmosphere. This blue smoke. It would be this world's equivalent to opium. Now,
Kitty!
right. I was wondering why my wife was reacting that well to the scent of opium. To me describing it. So, yes, we have a kitty.
Nah, it's the kitty.
Yes. Sorry, we have a cat.
Well, folks, time to turn from whatever you were doing and look at the screen now because we have a cat.
Yeah. Hello. So obviously, as Lilio is stepping in there, the bottle cat comes up to be petted by him.
Yeah, sure. Let's say that. Yes, definitely. Or here's the thing. It does not. Usually, as you step in, there is that the local tabby that sort of comes up and rubs against your leg, but here is nowhere to be seen. As you're coming through this smokes, you would know is in this chamber here, people do not smoke, but the smoke sort of seeps down from the rooms above and is supposed to give a sort of a soothing ambience to the area. The second hand of this, I mean, I guess you would call it lotus. I think the communal name for it would be lotus smoke, right? It is not as heavy as opium, but kind of the same effects, if prepared right. Because it would be maybe sort of the hashish kind of thing, or anyways, we're putting much too much importance to this. as this sort of blue smoke sort of hangs in the air, you notice that the bar is the population is shifted in a sense. While this used to be very much a place where you would see a lot of dwarves, halflings, humans, whatnot. You notice that there is quite a few touched sort of sitting in the area. One of them sort of is back to the bar, a sort of a glass on hand, talking to seemingly to a human sort of worker. Well, worker, sort of. No, actually, mostly. He would look like a worker, but in his Sunday clothes. And this particular touch, his full head is the head of a snake, or sort of lizard type. The rest of him, he's completely sort of dressed sort of normally. You can see he's got a soft cap tucked into his belt, and yeah, there's a conversation sort of whispered between the two of them. Things look calm. It's just that it's weird having all of these snakeheads around, as Nirma would know them to be referenced by in the trenches.
Lelios sort of out of force of habit, he almost enters the room like it's a stage.
Okay.
It's sort of his turf, but then he
flashy.
Yeah, but he can read the room, and he can read the room very quickly, and so like after a second he's like, what the hell is going on here? This is wrong. It's and he sort of dims his light and gives this hand wave to the other two to follow him to a vacant table somewhere, and he's sort of looking around for familiar faces to see if any of the staff that he knows is around.
Definitely the bartender. The staff, as you're looking about to the different waiters, the different champagne waiters, as they would be nicknamed. The staff is here. But again, there's a moment where if it were anybody else than you would say everything's normal. But there's definitely a moment as you're looking about where any waiters or waitresses that pass you by, instead of having that familiar, oh, how are you doing? It's professional, right? It's not. If there's a flirt, yep. It's definitely the professional flirt to the welcoming, right? It's almost as they are playing the fact that they don't know you.
Yeah. Yeah, like he would usually greet at least 2 or 3 of these with a kiss on the cheek or something, and
yeah.
It's just like.
I mean,
a glass wall. Yeah.
You've been to the company after parties, you know.
Yeah. So
mm-hmm.
Yeah, I take that in and slowly and increasingly carefully I make my way to a table and we sit down, and I just wave over one of the waiters that I know definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Just order something.
You wave to let's call her Elsie. She goes by a different name here. And Elsie she plays to that elven fantasy. She's human, but her face is sort of slender enough so that with just a pair of sort of silver ear cuffs, she can pass off as sort of that half elven or maybe sort of more elven look. She's her makeup is made to sort of accentuate that usually, but yeah, she goes, "Hello, sir. Should I be getting you your usual? And how about your companions this evening?"
Yes, sure. Yeah, a light cider for me, and what do you two want? And while they are thinking about what they want, I wave her closer to whisper in her ear and just ask her if she's okay and if I should be worried.
You whisper that into her ear, and she sort of starts back, holding the tray up to her chest, and so it has that sort of laugh of, "Oh no, sir, not tonight. No. But I'm in the upstairs shift tomorrow." There's no roll. This is the answer to your question is no, not tonight.
Yeah. Okay, so the other two can place their order and
Yeah, I'll simply order your best beer.
Bourbon.
And while she gets the order, you don't stay too long to your own devices. Maybe sort of 5-10 minutes. But what do you do about the room? Is there anything you're looking for? Is there anything?
I'm certainly looking around, trying to spot the faces of the people being there. If there's anyone of interest. So I'm really I'm casually just looking around, enjoying their surroundings, but definitely looking at who's in the room.
Make me a. Let's see. Would this be sneaky? Would this be careful?
Probably more of a careful approach. It's.
Yeah, careful looks good. Yeah.
It's the soldier sizing up the lay of the land before a battle.
Okay. Yeah, which definitely means
Handlook.
should you wish, you could definitely use that war veteran trait that you have, that aspect if you wanted to. By the way, you do know that you only have 3 aspects. You could come up with two more if you wish.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna use the aspect.
Okay.
An aspect.
So basically, you pay me a fate point, and you can either re-roll or add a +2.
I think I'm gonna reroll.
Okay. Yeah, that's a 0 and 2 negatives. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't do much. Okay, so that's a 1.
So yeah.
Right. Okay. So a 1 is. I think. Let me see the scale here. 1 is average. Okay.
Yeah.
I would say that as you're looking about, again, you're looking as there's a moment where you flash to the trenches, right? And you're looking about the room as if looking for placement, strategizing, saying, okay, where do I need to watch the exits? Where do I need to watch the people that are coming in? And I would say that with the one, that snake-headed person definitely is in the right spot to watch multiple, pretty much all of the exits, right? And the entrances. Using the different mirror. If you wanted to have an overview of the room, that's where you would be. But not much more, not much else. Your attention is sort of affixed to this character. And he hasn't moved in the 10 minutes. The young man he was talking to sort of moved on, but he's sort of sitting there at the stool at the bar, sort of nursing a drink that I don't think. I mean, Mike, maybe you would notice this. He hasn't touched. It's still the same amber liquid that's there as you walked in.
He would put it to his lips, but not drink it.
Yes.
Or so. Not even touching.
No. You sort of to the lips, maybe sort of just. I think just enough so you would see the tongue sort of flick in. Or maybe not. Sort of flick towards the glass and then.
So, a person who has to keep sober.
Alright. Lelio is sort of keeping an eye out, mostly for the staff, because that's who he cares about, seeing if there's any new faces, if there's anyone who...
Yeah!
Especially seems out of sorts in any way, and just basically checking if there's anyone he should be particularly worried about right now.
Okay, you can make me a check for that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that would most likely be careful, unless you tell me if there's another approach that you would prefer, and how would that be?
No, I think careful is probably great. Yeah. I don't know, maybe clever would maybe work as well.
Clever.
It is recognizing people and identifying. So.
Okay, fair. Is that what they're saying?
I'm reading people. I'm reading body languages. I'm trying to check out if they're fine. And yeah, I would say clever.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's a -1.
It's late and I'm tired.
Do you want to use a point? And I mean, what?
Yeah, I think I should use a point.
Okay, so what aspect are you invoking here?
Okay, so as someone who, I'm really fetching far here, but
okay, let's go for
it. As a stage performer, I should be able to like read a room, read people. I have a good eye for when like the mood shifts in a room, or when somebody is well, not happy with how something is going, because I have to adapt to that.
Okay. Sure. Okay, I'll allow it. Do you want to re-roll it, or do you want a +2?
I want a +2.
So that'll just go to 1 then.
It will just go to a 1, but it's better than.
Well, I mean, what was it? You had 2 zeros and 2 negatives. Technically, your odds of doing better are significant, but
okay. Then I will re-roll, because I never check the actual
if you scroll if you scroll over the number with your mouse, it'll give you the roll underneath.
Okay, I didn't know that. I always only
No
saw
worries.
the value. Okay, yeah. Then I will re-roll. That seems like the clever thing to do.
Nice.
Okay. Yeah. Ah well.
Oh.
Never mind.
So, just so you know, if you do you have an other aspect you think that you could invoke to give you the +2? As long as you have as long as you invoke different as long as you don't invoke the same aspect, you can use multiple ones. I mean, the whole thing about you learned that at the circus.
I mean, same thing probably goes for I'm a lover, not a fighter.
As in, because these are people that you
Yeah.
care about.
Yeah, exactly. And also about being able to read people and having this sort of empathy for people when I need it.
Wow, that roll was 1 positive and 3 negative. Jeez. Okay. Anyways, so you want to take the +2 this time?
Yes.
Okay,
I think so. I'm not sure what makes more sense here. Yeah.
I mean,
Please help me with the math.
You
Help
can
me with nice math.
If it's a +2, you'll get a 1. If you re-roll, it's a re-roll. I don't know the math of this game yet. Not enough.
A one is average, right?
1 is average, yeah.
Yeah, then I will just take the average and be happy with that.
Okay, fair.
At this point.
So what were you looking for specifically? Oh, right,
well, basically the well-being of the staff.
Okay.
If anyone is missing, if anyone new has arrived. Yeah.
Now you don't notice anyone new in the staff the bar staff tonight. What you do notice is that a lot of they're being much less sort of adventurous as they would. And I think that there's generally a mood of I'll say this. You don't know, there's a few of the regulars, right, who they don't go upstairs. They just come in, hang around with the lounge, talk to the staff, a bit of a flirt, and go back home. They're not there. There's a few that you would have expected to be here. No, they're not. Either because, for whatever reason, if there were any other night in any other situation, you wouldn't think twice about this. But maybe they've been turned away. Maybe they were warned.
Yeah. So I very lowly talk to the others and say that guys, this is really weird here. I mean, I've been around here fairly often and something is definitely off. Like, none of the regular patrons are here and the staff are all acting like basically like they're scared of something.
Like their Imperial Highness is coming in person to this place.
Yeah, maybe. I'm not sure.
As the pretty much sort of there's a voice that sort of pipes up from one of the tables. Another one of the half of the pair that was in front. I was going, sir, the manager will see you now.
His office?
Yes. Do you need an escort? No, I will escort. Yes. Please come with me. He has been warned that you are coming with friends.
Thank you.
Good.
Yeah, and I gesture to the other two, and we follow. I will just call him Rowie and the other Dowie.
Rowie and Dowie? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What were the ones at the morgue were
Ben and Terry.
Ben and Jerry, I think. Ben and Terry.
Yeah.
No, you know what? I would actually call them Lucy and Doocy.
Okay.
Or at least that's what they call themselves in the business. There's another pair of halfling massagers at the top. They're called Rumble and Tumble. Specialize in walking on your back and that kind of thing. Takes the cricks right out of it. Yeah. They're the specialists.
Are they heavy enough? Are they heavy enough?
Depends. Do you want them to be wearing their weighted suits?
That's it.
Yeah, there you go. They used to be circus until, Anyways, moving forwards. Yeah, Ben and Terry.
I'm sure we are great friends.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. To the office.
Okay.
We go.
As you step towards the back, again here, as you're stepping, there's a couple of, I guess, Mike, you sort of in that, again, you're in that sort of careful and, how much do you have in careful?
2.
2. Yeah, so, okay, you're good. And you got 3 in clever. Okay.
Yeah.
And, no, actually, you got 2 in careful, 2 in sneaky.
Yes.
I would say, so you've got your eye sort of on the back of your head, and there's definitely a few people whose eyes are on you as you are being led towards the back doors. And most of them, I think there's just that the guy still lounging at the bar. I think there's just one eye that sort of moves in your direction. The rest of the body is completely still. But yeah, it's you've caught a bit of attention, but then again, there's not much you could do about that. You move towards the back, and where there's a very ornate wooden staircase with this red felt all above it that leads to the upstairs. You would know, Lilio, that underneath the staircase there is a door which is almost sort of camouflaged in the wood, but you know to be the office. And you can hear from the other side, sort of a bit forced, sort of forced for volume. Jayla, that's what we call them. Jayla's voice. Yes, I understand. Yes, of course. Yes, I understand the agreement and the consequences. Please, I have another meeting coming in, and it would not be good if I were to let them... Yes, of course, yes. Thank you. And the door opens as he lets you in. Now, the thing is, he's alone in the room. However, he is one of these people who happens to have a telephone. A sort of heavy, sort of that's set into the wall with the crank and the whole thing. There's a few around in the area, within Second City, but there'll be one at the bank, there'll be one at sort of public offices or stuff like that. He just happens to have one for his personal use, which is fairly rare. At least in the old town. You have no idea what happens to those high rises. Those elves don't want to come down, so they most likely set this whole thing up. As you walk in, for the other two who have never seen this man, He's decked out in embroidered, not felt, brocart sort of suit, very ornate in greens and gold. He seems to be sweating, definitely, and he's got that look. If half elf as well, but if Lelio, you're more on the human side, right?
Yeah.
He
Like,
has.
I do have a bit of the ears, but not much.
He's more on the elven side, so he's much more slender. He looks almost sort of stretched in a sense, so long, sort of very long arms. But immediately, Nirma and Mike, you are taken by this person. This person, even more than Lelio, you've gotten used to that sort of glamour. This man, there's something about him that just catches the eye, and the rest of the room almost goes dim in his presence. And he's only a half-elf. Lelio, my friend, how are you today? I am so glad to see you. And who are these? Have accommodations been made for you?
No, don't worry about that. I'm not here for that.
Oh, are you here on red glass business then?
Yes, you could say that. These are actually
Please, sit.
How are you?
I could be in the use of a stiff drink right now. But unfortunately, the bottle is tapped, and, well, I haven't been able to order in.
Alright.
But, you said you were coming here for business, for...
Yes, you're no longer the owner, right? You're the manager, I hear.
Yes. An opportunity that came about, an opportunity that I could not refuse, and quite limited in time for my choice. But I am happy in how it turned out. And how about you?
Seems to be quite happy with the arrangement. With the impressions I get. But where are my manners? These are Norma and Mike.
Norma, Mike, a pleasure.
Pleasure to meet you.
Indeed.
And he takes sort of a breath in, releases it, and all of a sudden that fixation that you had on him sort of lessens. And you find yourselves in a room that you can almost now see for the first time. It is again richly appointed, though much more solemn than the rest of the outside. You can see there's reminiscent of the counting house, the guild house. You can see high shelves with books, ledgers, but also open the. You can see sort of more of books that are sort of open to illustrations. You have statues and, well, statuettes situated. All of these of a fairly erotic, at least, nature. There's a few books that as you're looking, there are literally some of these books, Lilia, you would know these are anatomy manuals, and how written by professionals for professionals. And you do know that there is there's a chair and a desk which they would often let their employees sort of come back and maybe sort of develop their skills, at least in theory.
Yeah. The atmosphere, would it usually, between these two, it would probably usually be a bit warmer, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes. Now you would know him enough that he's been choosing his words carefully, to be as sort of vague as possible. Not necessarily in code, but you know that when he's talking about red glass business,
Yeah.
he's talking about the poltergeist, the fact that he needs a stiff drink, it's most likely that, so the bottle's tapped means he couldn't have gone to ask for help, basically. Or he does not feel that the poltergeist could help him.
Okay, right.
I think it'd be easy. No, it's past time. He could have used the help, but now it's past time. There's nothing you can do anymore. I apologize for the glamour. It's something of a bit of a reflex for my kind. I try to tone it down for Lelio and his friends, but yes, please. I hope it was not any inconvenience to you.
Yeah, I wave it away because it doesn't really affect me that much.
No, this is definitely directed towards Nirma and Mike.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Thank you for your effort.
There's another sort of knock at the door, and a young woman steps in. Lilia, you do not know her. And she's definitely very attractive, with regards to the very attractive face, very sort of slender body type, and she comes in with a tray of these would be tea and biscuits or sweets and stuff like this, sort of bring that to you. And she goes almost like she knows exactly where to put it. She goes and there's a tray basically that she puts it down and says, will you be needing anything, sir? He sort of waves her away. And as she turns, she has a look towards you, Nirma. And as you're looking through, I think she sort of sides-eyed Lilio. And as she does, there's just that glimmer in the light, and you see two very faint outlines of scales on the jawline. Thank you, Petal. Please, don't worry. Would it be again? Would you be needing? No. It's just a meeting among friends. I'll be pulling from my personal reserve. She sort of bows, sort of half bows, and sort of steps out. And there's definitely a moment where he looks towards the door, almost sort of expecting, and you can almost hear him sort of counting, the seconds away. Right. She should not be listening at the door, hopefully.
New hire?
In a sense, if I were paying her. No, she is not living by my credit. Lelio, I do not know what you are doing here, but you catch me at a very bad time.
Yes.
So please be quick, be swift in your words, because
How open can I speak?
As open as you must. As I said, she should not be listening, and the walls here are sufficiently thick. But
Am I right to assume that she has been gone for the last about 2 days and only just returned?
that is strangely accurate. Well, yes. Oh, what's going on?
Oh, where do I start?
If you want, I can resume
Yes.
it quickly.
Yes, please.
We were hired to investigate the death of a dwarf in a boxing match. Something seemingly relatively simple. We've stumbled upon...
Coppercloak.
Yeah.
Do you know him?
Yes. Well, that's part of the issue. I have him in my basement.
Right.
What?
Okay,
And that's where we're gonna end for tonight.
good. Masterfully played, dear DM.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Right. So, yes, as we mentioned,
Is he dead or alive? Oh no.
that you will find out
we
next time.
already knew that Coppercloak was alive. That the real one, that the death one was an imposter, technically.
But
Yeah,
doesn't mean
yeah.
the other one is. I'm sorry. Finish your sentence, please.
Next time. Right. So, as we move on to the let's put something a bit more cheery for the goodbye, shall we? Well, there you go. Yeah, that works. Anyways, thank you to my players for tonight. As we mentioned, a little shorter. We didn't want to go move too far without our beloved Lynx, who I hope is watching. And as of tonight, our thoughts go out to you. That makes it much more sinister than it is. I just want to say we love her. And we will catch up with her for next time. Thank you for those watching, those listening. This is always so different from the usual Dungeons and Dragons, and I love telling this story along with good friends. And yes, we're still very much testing. I don't even think we're playing Fate Accelerated anymore, to tell you the truth.
It's something of a. I mean, it's inspired by.
It's yes, we're using mechanics, but yeah. So once again, thank you to all three of you. Thank you to those watching, and we will be, well, hopefully soon. I know we have, yeah. I know we take our time between these sessions, but
Life is life.
Life is life. Okay.
No. Yep.
Yep.
On that note, let's close this chapter and get ready for the new one. See you next time.
Good night.
See you. Good night.
Bye.